just feel really bad. I just feel really bad that I was just mentioned and it's just so toxic, and I'm just so sorry about that. That is, as you can see, that's not my content. That wasn't my content back then. And I don't know, I just feel really bad. And I'm sorry if I hurt your feelings. I think I just need to go to therapy. And I need to go to church. And I just need some like self-reflection, honestly. Because that was just so nasty. But anyway, I just wanted to formally apologize and say I'm so sorry if I hurt your feelings. So, anyway, I hope you all can forgive me and just get over that nasty post I deleted.
Yeah, folks, imagine saying something online in the last moments, and within hours, within a twinkle of an eye, your entire life changes. That's exactly what's happening in this viral situation involving Ashley Gonzalez. A rant goes viral. People react instantly. And now, there's an apology that has the internet split. Some people are saying it's too late. Others think everyone deserves a chance to learn and grow. So the real question of the day, folks, is when someone crosses the red line publicly, what does accountability actually look like? If you watch me for the first time, don't forget to subscribe, like, and share this video to whoever feels like should see this video. And without much ado, let's get into it.
Girl, you must have forgot where you work when you went online and said all this.
I hate I hate y'all. I don't. Oh, we were slaves. I don't give a reason you guys were.
And I bet your ass didn't think the Houston Police Department was going to see that, did you? However, if you've not seen this video already, this is allegedly Ashley Gonzalez of the Houston Police Department, and an incident occurred. She went online and started ranting. These would have been social media friends. One of them recorded it, sent it to the news, and kudos to you, low-key, because she works with the public. So when you go on a full racist rant, and I'm not even going to say allegedly because the shit's right there, why would you think that's okay to hit record and post that online? The Houston Police Department came out and said that she has been relieved of duty while there's an investigation. But not only did you say all that, you expressed that you also use that language at work.
And I was like, come here, you. And oh my God, I felt like the world just stopped. It was just peace.
And how you were going to take those feelings with you the next day to take it out on the next Black person. The reality is, when you choose a job like that, your words carry weight even when you're off the clock.
Ashley Gonzalez reminds us of the anti-Blackness, colorism, and racism towards Black people that exists in our communities. Not only is this about condemning the actions of Ashley Gonzalez and all of her hateful racist comments, it is about holding our friends, our family members, and other people in the community accountable. Do you know of any of your family members or friends who casually use the N-word? Are you doing anything to stop them? Are we continuing the erasure of Afro-Latinx and Black Latinx people in our communities? Are we holding ourselves accountable for the anti-Blackness and racism towards Black people that exists in Latinx, Latina communities? Are we forcing other Latinx, Latina creators to speak out against the racism clearly displayed by Ashley Gonzalez? Let's not make this about how you're not individually racist, but about the ways that anti-Blackness and racism towards Black people exists in our communities. Especially because Ashley Gonzalez was a police officer and directly affects the lives of Black people in Houston. We need to hold ourselves accountable to not allow this type of racism to exist and to condemn those in our communities who say these things.
So just got word that HPD did indeed terminate Ashley Gonzalez, the officer who made all the disparaging remarks on her Instagram video. And I'm a bit surprised that it happened so fast, but something like this, you know, you get a lot of media attention and a lot of community uproar, and they're going to fast track it, and that's what they did with her. So I thought she would be able to keep her job. So in that regard, I'm surprised that she's terminated, but at the same time, I'm not surprised that she got terminated. So hopefully she's able to learn from this and move forward. Hopefully somebody will give her a second chance, because I think we've all screwed up. We've all said things that we didn't mean in the heat of the moment, maybe venting to a friend or whatever. And we all should be allowed to redeem ourselves and get that second chance. Thanks.
Do you know how great it was to say that racial slur out loud? I thought I was back in the Marine Corps. A Houston police officer has been relieved of her duty. Oh yeah, this was a female police officer that went on this racial episode. Okay, she had a racial episode saying all kind of stuff. She has now been relieved of her duty. Her name is Ashley Gonzalez. She joined the force in 2024. Now, I get a lot of hate on here for sticking up for police officers, okay? But I'm going to tell you this. When bad police officers do something, I call them out. Republican or not, conservative or not, we don't need police officers like her. Now, she's relieved of her duty pending an investigation and all that. Okay, so it's alleged, okay? But we don't need police officers like this. That only gives good police officers bad names, and it makes things worse for every other police officer. So I will call them out every single time. What are you guys thinking of?
All right, it's me, Chico Dion. Right now, I'm speaking about the Ashley Gonzalez situation. For those who don't know, I'm the one with the Family Dollar, where the little girl was talking bad about black folks in Spanish, and I had to check that shiggity. So, about Ashley Gonzalez, the way she talked about black folks, man, that's the norm. I'm gonna say this first: all Mexicans ain't like that, but a bunch of them are. See, I've heard them same conversations, how she spoke about black folks in English. I've heard them same conversations all my life here in Texas in Spanish. I was raised in Texas. I was raised in Houston. So, and I'm gonna say it straight up, yeah, it's a bunch of racism. See, I told Isaiah Carey when he asked me that on his show, he said that I think it was a bunch of racism between against us who was in the Hispanic community. I told him, if I got to speak Spanish to be all right with a group of people, then I ain't gonna do it. I refuse to do it. Like I say, if my ears could speak, man, boy, they'll tell you some hell of a stories. It ain't, man, I'm like, as a kid, I remember being on a city bus and I would hear these people speak bad about black people and stuff, you know what I'm saying? In the penitentiary, I'm like, it's even worse, you know? We everything from Chango, Mayate, Mayuga to Tirachos to Chapapote is tar. You know, I've heard all of it. So the way she spoke in English about us, that's the way they speak about us in Spanish. Trust me, I know. And that's why I told Isaiah Carey, if I got to speak Spanish to be all right with a group of people, then I ain't gonna do it. Man, like I say, look, I heard that stuff so much that the wax in my ears have been melted. I don't even get wax in my ears no more because I've heard so much racism from them people towards us speaking in Spanish. So the way she spoke about us in English, man, that's what they talk about us in Spanish. And that's why I checked that little girl that day, but I was just trying to let her know, you know, man, at this day and time, it's a bunch of us around here, man. So like I say, I was raised in Houston before a bunch of Afro-Latinos even popped up, Cuban, Puerto Rican, Colombian. I was raised here. So I know the culture. And I ain't gonna sit up and say, no, it ain't racism, it ain't a bunch of racism. I'll be lying if I say that. And that's why my response was to Isaiah Carey, if I got to speak Spanish to be all right with a group of people, then I just refuse to do that. Hey, it is what it is. Sea lo que sea. You know, I'm gonna say so. I remember one time, this little girl cut for me, Mexican girl cut for me. She was telling her mama, I mean, Chico. And I remember going to the house and I remember her mama saying, ¿Quién es el negrito ese? She know who that little nigga right there. You know what I'm saying? She said, oh, it's that Chico. I said, tú eres Chico. I said, sí, yo soy Chico. They don't let tú eres. Now, oh, you Chico. Now it became all right because I started speaking Spanish. Once again, if I got to speak Spanish to be all right, then I don't want to be all right. Hey, man, with that said, y'all stay blessed. Get back with you, and like always, bye, bye.
I personally want to thank the ex-Houston police officer, Ashley Gonzalez. Thank you. Thank you for that. Thank you for that. I want to thank you for your racist rant that I know you did not intend to be leaked, but thank you for doing that. People get upset when people go on racist rants or find out somebody is bigoted or something. I personally would much rather know what kind of person I'm dealing with. If you have a prejudice against a group of people based on whatever, whether it's skin color, religion, let me know now so that I can know where I stand. Because the last thing I want is to be in a situation where I am in need of help. I call the police. You come, you are called to protect and serve. You take one look at me, you see my black skin, and you've already decided that you hate me and that you want to make my life harder. Thank you for letting us know, letting the world know. And I honestly wish that people who have any type of prejudice, I wish it could be tatted on their chest so that the world can then navigate how to handle that person. There's too many closet bigots and racists that do what they do, and they can cause the damage that they cause because the people that they're around have no idea who they're dealing with. And there's so much of that in this country. And I know it's unrealistic, but it's like a sigh of relief when somebody's exposed like that. Because it's like, well, now we know. To me, it's like sundown towns, you know? Thank you for letting me know where the sundown towns are. Let me know where I don't need to be when the sun goes down. Tell me now. I don't want to be surprised. So whatever comes her way, let it come her way. But I really wish that more of that exposure happens because it is a lot more common than we realize. And not just against black people, but there are so many people with prejudices and hidden agendas. You know, the role of a police officer is such an important thing in our society. And I personally believe it attracts two extremes of a personality. There are the good people that join the force because they want to make their communities better and they want to do what they can to leave an impact. And maybe, you know, there was an officer when they were growing up that left a good whatever. And then there are those people that like weren't picked for the football team and they've got a chip on their shoulder, or somebody didn't ask them to the prom, and so now they have a little authority. And now anytime they are triggered by somebody or some situation, they got to flex their muscles and let the world know that they're in charge. So once again, I want to say thank you to Ashley Gonzalez, and thanks.
So yeah, that's the video. Here's what's going on. A video surfaces of Ashley Gonzalez making comments that a lot of people found it very, very offensive. It spreads quickly, like most things do now, and before long, it's everywhere. People are reacting, people are sharing their opinions, calling it out, and the situation escalates very, very fast. Then comes the aftermath. There are reports that she lost her job. And shortly after, another video appears. This time, an apology. She's asking for forgiveness, saying that she regrets what she said, and she's trying to explain herself of what happened. And this is where everything split. Because one, For some people, the damage is already done. For their perspective, the apology feels like it only comes after consequences have showed up. So they question whether it's genuine or just a reaction to losing something. But on the other side, there are people who believe mistakes, especially public ones, can be a turning point. That people can reflect, people can learn, and people can change, even if it starts after facing some consequences. And honestly, this situation brings up a bigger conversation. In today's world, everything is recorded. Everything spreads very, very fast. And reactions are immediate. There's a very little time between action and consequences. So, when something like this happens, false, it raises questions. For example, is losing your job a fair consequence for something said online? Do someone deserve to lose his or her job because of saying something online? Number 2, how do we judge whether an apology is real or just damage control? And the third point is, what point do we allow space for growth? At what point? So there's no simple answer for those questions, because on one hand, words matters, and on another hand, people should be held accountable. But on the other hand, if there's no room for someone to learn or come back from a mistake, what does that lead to? Yeah, false. And that's why this situation has people divided. It's not just about what she said. It's about what happened after what she said. So, I want to hear from you. Do you think apologies like this should be accepted with the public? Or do you feel like some action carry consequences that can't just be undone? And where do you personally draw the line between accountability and forgiveness? So folks, drop your comments, drop your thoughts in the comments. Just keep it respectful, because this is one of those conversations where people see things very, very differently. So first, I'll catch you in the next one, and if you're watching me for the first time, please don't forget to subscribe, like, and share this video. Until next time, you grab a good one.